Welcome to an absolute embarrassment of a chess game. Now, just looking at this little game review timeline, you would think that this is one of those Gotham Chess 200 ELO blitz analyses, how to lose at chess. And this is kind of that, but it's even worse, because this game was played in a legitimate over-the-board tournament in 2022 by yours truly with the black pieces. And you might think, oh, this is an over-the-board blitz tournament. Incorrect. This is an over-the-board classical tournament, 70-minute games, and yet still it looks like this. And the worst part about this is that we did not have much time on our clocks when the game ended. Okay, this game was not like us blitzing the first 20 moves and just having like an hour left. Okay, but without further ado, let's check out this game. He opens with the English opening. An absolute joke, at the lower level at least. Even though Magnus plays it a lot because he's Magnus and he can do that. Next, I figured that he is ready for the symmetrical English, which I don't know, or the King's English, which I also don't know. So we play the absolute monkey. Pawn to b6. And the plan is if he goes d4 as the arrow shows, we go bishop b7 as our arrow shows, and it just transposed into something I'm at least a little more familiar with. But then he plays knight c3, still bishop, and we have this e6 set up. And look, like, this is actually a cool feature, is you have this like link to a Chessable course, so we can go, and I think that's Gotham Chess's face in there. You can like click here and look at Gotham Chess's Chessable course, which is really cool. So you can go in your game analyses and like find a Chessable course that like fits your opening after you get out of a book move. So that's really cool. But now he plays a3, trying to prevent bishop to b4. We strike in the center with d5. He pushes up to e3, and this opening is fairly solid. However, this d6, while a computer says it's good, the reason it's not fully optimal is because I could have played pawn captures on c4, and then after bishop recaptures, it's fine for black because he already wasted a turn moving the bishop to this square. And then that way, like, it's not like he fully develops his bishop by taking. He already moved it once. So it's kind of a wash there. But anyway, we move bishop to d6. Castles. And now he attacks the queen side. And a few more moves played, and now it starts. Look at this big sea of mistakes and missed wins. But anyway, let's get to it. Pawn to d4. Blundering a pawn because you'll notice this pawn is attacked twice and defended once. But first, we must kick out the knight. The knight moves. Captures. And now, we're up a pawn. And then knight to a4, and look at this. D takes c4, bishop takes an a fork! Boom! Look at me with the tactics. Now you might be thinking, is this player who just found this fork in a few moves, the same player is about to play like all of this down here? Yes it is. Because then he plays queen to b3 and saying, if you take my bishop or knight, I will take your bishop. And I said, okay, which is a horrible move, because what I could have done is just played queen to d7, which defends the bishop, and then the fork is still active. So there is literally no reason for me to get trigger happy and take the bishop. But we trade, and I defend my pawn with this bishop, and the computer says that I should have moved my bishop literally 2 more spaces forward, taken the knight, and doubled the pawns in front of his king. But here we are. He moves rook a to d1 for no reason. Then we attack his queen. Queen moves out of the way. Knight moves to b6, which the computer doesn't like because it allows the knight to go to this pink square right here. Knight captures, rook captures, bishop a3 attacking the rook. And it doesn't like it because we still have bishop captures knight, which we refuse to play. But look at this. Look at this absolute brilliancy here. He's attacking the rook, but we attack the queen. Danger levels. That's right. I watch Gotham Chess. I know all about danger levels. Boom. Look at me applying danger levels to a tournament. Queen goes to a5. Rook goes to c6. When I should have done something way better. Now, my logic here is if he trades queens, which he actually does do, the rook moves out of the way of the bishop. And my other logic is that if his bishop takes right away, his queen is hanging. Oops, that's not the right arrow. Anyway, we're doing this all in one take, so I don't care if I miss the arrow. Queen captures, rook captures, knight comes in attacking the rook. Rook moves away, and the computer does not like that. Attacking the knight. Knight attacks the rook. Rook moves up when he could have put that in a lot better spaces. I guess he wants to double up on the open B file here. I guess that's his move. Now this loses material because he has bishop d6, forking the rooks, which he finds. Great move by him. Now I'm really pissed at myself, so I move a rook out of the way, and we're down in exchange. But we're up a pawn, but down in exchange. Now you might be thinking, this game has been pretty bad so far, but it gets a little worse. Knight comes in, attacking the rook. Rook moves up. Couple inaccuracies there, we're not going to sort of that. Bishop goes, we attack the knight. Knight moves back, attacking the bishop. Bishop retreats. Rook attacks knight. Rook defends knight. Knight captures the free pawn that I just decided to hang. Because, I had some good moves here, but this pawn is going to be one eventually. Bishop b5. Knight goes out of the way. We attack the knight again, and the knight is almost trapped, but he's counterattacking my knight. But we trade, because it's fine, because I have a plan, or so I think. And then, a few more moves in this little endgame here. We put our rook on the 7 so his king can't move up, and we're just trying to hold this position because we are down and exchange. And we do have this pass pawn, which is kind of nice. But it's going to be really hard because he has an exchange. Move the king up out of the way. Trying to break through endgame inaccuracies and mistakes coming in. Bishop goes in, attacking the pawn. Pawn checks, punishing me for me being stupid. King goes back, and pawn checks again. And now I have to go here. And if he gets a pawn here, rook comes in as checkmate. And in fact, he brings his rook in, and we have to go here. And now he is in such a good spot, he can go pawn cleanup mode. He goes for e5 check. That's a mistake. I think you had to see what the best move is. I think you just had to take pawns there. You just take pawns and you win this game. But no, he goes for this king hunt, and he chokes because the king escapes to safety. The rook would have to go here and then go here to actually do a check, and then even then I would have this square. So the king escapes. He gets too happy with the king. He gets too focused, tunnel vision on the king. He just misses the free pawns. And if he takes these pawns, then he wins the game because he promotes this pawn, and there's not a damn thing I can do about it. He takes the pawn finally. And then we miss the fact that this is a free pawn. Actually, I want to see what it was. It was moving the bishop. I guess that's for we move the king and then we defend that way, but I don't think it would have worked anyway. Oops. We made a mistake. We moved the king here, and we're like, you know what? We're going to try and do some cheeky attacks on his king. King moves here, and it's a blunder because it's mate in 4. And I missed the mate in 4. I go for a discover check, and I miss the mate in 4 when better would be to check this way. Oh no, because after king g1, king c4, threatening mate takes the bishop, and it's just forced mate. Can't do anything. And that would have just been a clean victory for me. But instead, I choked the game away. Oops. I choked the game away by moving my bishop to the wrong square. And now the rook cannot go back to the back rank because this stupid bishop blocks it. So the king moves away, and we move away. It's kind of threatening checkmate, but also not really, because then he can go back over here. So he moves his pawn up. This is a mistake because we can just take a pawn. But we decide to do what he did and go after his king for no reason. King moves away, and we capture with the bishop. Trying to hold everything together here, but that still doesn't help this. That's still a free pawn, and he doesn't take it. He doesn't take it. He doesn't take the free pawn. The free pawn. I like that better. But the free pawn. He takes that, and now he's going to create a pass pawn this way, but we can check his king. King goes here, and now we're threatening mate. We could have captured a free pawn, but it's fine. We're threatening mate. King moves away, and now we're threatening mate again. A great move here by me for the first time this game. And then king moves back, and we take this pawn. My plan is, if he pushes, we skewer it. Oops, we can't even draw arrows. Why can't I not draw the arrows? We skewer the pawn by this check, skewering the pawn. And he moves the pawn up, and we find the skewer. King moves away. That's the only square he could go. And we take the pawn, and now we're winning. We just have these extra 2 pawns. What is this game? This looks like a how to lose at chess, and it kind of is. Rook to c6, going at forking these pawns. That's a good move. But we push this pawn up, and now he can take here. Now it's this really strong pass d pawn. It says -2. We're winning, but it's going to be strong. And then rook to b7, blundering another pawn, but he misses it. He misses it. He misses the free pawn. This is a classical game. This is not blitz. We're just missing free pieces. And then we blunder it again. This pawn is invincible. The pawn is invincible. This is the immortal pawn game. This pawn could have got captured here, and it could have got captured here, but it just survives. And now he moves his rook out of the way to try and stop my pawn, and we check because we probably should have just gone here and then try to trade pawns because then we would have just been 2 pawns up. We go for this check, and we push this pawn here, and now I remember this game. My opponent asked, "Do you want the queen?" And I said no, because he obviously had my queen from sitting on the side of the board when we traded queens earlier. But what he misses was rook b1 check, and I had that move. And then he asked again if I want the queen, but no, I play this again, and he moves his king, and he finds his king f1 move, which is a great move, and then a great move. We overcome the 500 elo and start learning to actually play for once. Check, 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 and his king is forced into a goofy spot. And then we have rook e3, attacking his pawn, trading it. Look at this brilliant move. We don't have time, or we can't go over here to stop his pawn. And if we go down here to stop his pawn, he takes this, and then we have to go here, and then he comes back and defends, and we're just losing. But by using checks, we get to the e-file, and now we trade pawns, but it's fine. We're up 2 pawns to 1, and I think this is still kind of a draw, but we're winning. Rook f2 check, and we miss a win getting away from the pawns, but that's okay because we're pushing our pawns forward. Just pushing forward, and he sacrifices his rook to stop the pawn. There was no reason to do that. But it's still a good move because I think at this point, when he played rook to d2, we were just winning. If he played rook to f1, it's still -2, and we're still completely winning. But it's still fine. Okay, so anyway, the rest of this game was actually pretty good. We sacrifice the rook, and we get a pawn, and then unlike the how to lose at chess, I do not stalemate. And that is a 90-move game with, look, 10 to 9 mistakes, 5 to 4 misses, 2 to 3 blunders. Yeah, I'm really bad at this game.